Dillian, the body snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So I saw this earlier on and I totally forgot all about it, which is why this video is a little bit late. So thank you very much to Sonny for reminding me about this. And it comes via Sky Sports with Mauricio Sulaiman, the WBC President. He said that Deontay Wilder deserves an opportunity with Tyson Fury, as Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder an opportunity. So we're going to break that down. Now, Mauricio Sulaiman's statement in a nutshell goes along these lines. Deontay Wilder, he's a very dear fighter, a champion in the WBC, and he deserves, of course, another opportunity. He gave Tyson Fury the opportunity, and Tyson Fury beat him. He deserves an opportunity. There you go. Now, here's how I see it. And there's so many different nuggets to break down this one, so bear with me. If you was Tyson Fury, you got screwed in the first fight to a draw when the world knows that Tyson Fury won that fight, but you got screwed anyway. He then fought him again and comprehensively destroyed him. And then Wilder comes out with all these conspiracies, accusing Tyson Fury of criminal activity, saying that he is a cheater. He's got a history of being a cheat, and the fact that because he's gypsy, well, it's part of his DNA. It's part of his makeup, so he's a cheater. The referee was in on the screw. The WBC even were in on the screw. The Nevada State Athletic Commission was in on the screw. Mark Breland, his own trainer, was in on the screw. And loads of other things. The list goes on. It's actually hard to remember at times the amount of excuses that come out with just slandering Tyson Fury and the team and everybody else in the world. If you was Tyson Fury, would you give that man an opportunity? I wouldn't. As much as Tyson Fury would love to just get in there and just beat him up again. Because at the end of the day, for Tyson, it is an easy payday. Let's be honest. Styles make fights. Tyson Fury, his style destroys Wilder, whether it be through boxing or aggression. He's proven that. So you could go down that route and say, well, maybe Tyson just needs to go in there and just shut him up. Well, that's exactly what it is that Wilder wants. He wants that payday. Or at least maybe he's saying all this, but he doesn't really want the fight. He just wants to use it as an excuse. Well, Tyson Fury ducked me. Hey, everybody, still support me. I did want the fight, but I didn't get it. Now come watch me take on whoever he's going to fight, Charles Martin. It could be going down that angle. But for me, if I was Tyson Fury, I'd tell him to jog the hell on, to be honest with you. Anyway, other way to look at it is, we keep hearing this word used. Gave him the opportunity. The opportunity seems to be the word. Mauricio Sulaiman is now using it. Wilder was using it as well. Where Wilder said, and now Mauricio Sulaiman is saying that Deontay Wilder, he gave Tyson Fury the opportunity. Of course, we're going back to 2018 in Los Angeles. And it baffles me as to how that is Wilder giving Fury the opportunity. Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder the opportunity to sidestep Anthony Joshua, as Wilder has openly admitted a few weeks ago. He gave him that opportunity. He also gave him the opportunity to finally have, after 40 fights, a legitimate, credible name on his resume. The conqueror of the 10-year reign, Vladimir Klitschko, that Tyson Fury. A Tyson Fury that all kinds of fighters were calling him out because they felt that he weren't ready. Shannon Briggs wanted to fight him. Tony Bellew wanted to fight him. Every man and his dog wanted to fight Tyson Fury because they knew he weren't ready. His own father said any decent heavyweight then would have destroyed Tyson and probably knocked him out. Wilder couldn't do that. Now, it was Fury that gave Wilder the opportunity to have a credible name on his resume. The legend killer, because he defeated Vladimir Klitschko. He gave him finally the opportunity to have a credible name on his resume. Don't talk to him about Luis Ortiz. Go back, tell me who it is that Luis Ortiz has fought and beat, and then come back to me. All right? Tyson Fury was the name, and it went badly, badly wrong. Tyson Fury also gave him the opportunity, first time around, of course, to become lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Now, whether you put stock into it or whether you don't, the whole first fight was built on lineal versus WBC. This is the number 1 versus number 2 in the division. This is how the whole thing was built. Trying to totally disregard Anthony Joshua, which was totally disrespectful, by the way. But that's how it was built. Then, of course, Deontay Wilder, he screws Tyson Fury out of a draw, or to a draw even. Well, I say Wilder did. those around, the judges, etc., screwed Tyson Fury to a draw. They then had the rematch, and then not only was the Ring Magazine belt on the line as well as, but because it was Tyson Fury, because he was lineal, well, the Ring Magazine belt was also on the line as well. So who really gave who the opportunity? Sure, Wilder gave Fury an opportunity to win the one belt that he's never won. Sure, okay, we can certainly go along with that. I can't argue with that point. But Fury also gave Wilder the opportunity. That's my point. The other point I want to raise is, where's all this energy come from Mauricio Sulaiman? Wilder's been chastising you and your company for the past month or so. His fan base had been chastising WBC ever since Wilder lost, by saying that the WBC are in on the screw. Where was his same energy when it came to Dillian Whyte being number one for 3 years? Mandatory challenger for the best part of a year. Where was the same energy when it came to Dillian Whyte? Where was the same energy when Wilder was holding that belt Sophia hostage for 5 years and defended it against who? Gerald Washington, Johan Duapa, Artur Spilka, Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington, and listen, the list goes on. Luis Ortiz twice, Bermane Stiverne again for a rematch. Where was all this energy then, Mauricio Sulaiman, when you should be telling him he's supposed to fight a mandatory every year, every 12 months? In 5 years, he fought 2. Technically 3. Fury was his 3rd mandatory, but we know that Tyson Fury shouldn't have been a mandatory at that point. I think most of us can agree with that. But, hey, it is what it is. But where was the same energy? There was no energy back then. It was all about wrapping Wilder in cotton wool. It's all about allowing him to do whatever he wanted to do. It's all about allowing him to sidestep certain fighters. Mauricio Sulaiman, you're a clown. I don't want to be rude, but you are a clown. To say that Deontay Wilder deserves the opportunity. Deserves it how? He got comprehensively battered. He didn't get one punch knocked out. He got destroyed. He got humiliated. And look at the excuses. And you say this man deserves an opportunity? He don't deserve nothing. He deserves to build himself up again. He deserves to go fight the PBC roster, which I believe is probably the agenda anyway. Go fight your PBC roster. Go fight the Charles Martins of the world. Go fight a 3rd fight with Luis Ortiz, or maybe a Andy Ruiz. That's an interesting fight. Go fight these guys. Build yourself up. Go fight Dillian Whyte. Go fight Alexander Usyk. Go fight these guys. Prove yourself. Because let's be honest, when Wilder got the opportunity in the beginning, the person who he beat in his 30-second fight before he fought Bermane Stiverne for the WBC belt was Jason Gavin. And before then, the biggest name on his resume was, oh look, his best friend in Malik Scott. Malik Scott, who took a huge punch on the gloves and went down like he'd been shot right after he winked at Wilder. Maybe, arguably, maybe his best win was Audley Harrison at that point. So he never deserved that opportunity at all. He just fought a whole lot of tomato cans. That's all he'd done. And honestly, I'm tired of hearing the whole, oh, Wilder, he deserves the opportunity because he gave Tyson Fury the opportunity. No, he didn't. Tyson Fury gave Wilder the opportunity to sidestep Anthony Joshua, avoid Anthony Joshua. He gave him the opportunity to have a credible name on his resume, one that he should have beaten back in 2018. And he also gave him the opportunity to become lineal heavyweight champion of the world. The WBC belt is only one belt of 4. That's all it is. It's 25% of an undisputed bracket. Is what it is, right? Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.